Okay, we are going to find the slope of a line given 2 points. 2 points as coordinates rather than a graph. One way to do this would be graphically. I could graph this point, and I could do my rise over run. Remember, slope is a ratio comparing the rise over the run, or the rise to the run. Because I'm given 2 points, I'm going to do the algebraic method right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and write down my slope formula. So remember that the slope is the rise on a graph. Well, that's the change in y. To find the change, you're looking at the distance. That's always found with subtraction. Okay, so it's the change in y over the change in x. The first thing I'm going to do is identify my variables. Now, formulas are always given this way, with the 2 first, the 1 second. It doesn't matter. What matters is you are consistent. So here's what I mean. In this first coordinate, looking for my red pen here. Can't find it. In the first coordinate, I've got a 3 for the x and a -1 for the y. So remember that in ordered pair, the first one is always x and the second one is always y. In the second coordinate, I've got x is -6 and y is 5. So what they mean here by 2 and 1 is one is coming from something we're going to call point 2 and the other one is coming from the point we call point 1. So I'm going to do the first one as 2 and the second one as 1, because when I'm doing this, I always do it the same way so that I'm consistent and I don't make a mistake. So I just go left minus right, left minus right. You can do it the other way, just be consistent in the numerator, the top, and the denominator, the bottom. Be consistent in your order. Okay, so here we go. We're going to substitute into this formula y2, we're going to substitute -1, y1, we're going to substitute y from this point, 5, here x2, that's from this first point here, 3, and x1 right here from my second point, -6. Okay, so here we go. Now, remember, the formula slope is often given the variable m. It's y minus y. So be careful, because sometimes your second number is negative, and that changes things. So, let's see here, at y1, so from the first point, -1 minus 5. And now I'm going to do the x's. I'm taking from the first point 3, and again it's minus, the formula is minus x1. Alright, now our x1 is negative. This is where we need to be careful. A lot of students, because they already have down minus, or just leave that off. It's very important. This is y -1 minus y 5. 3 minus -6. So the reason why we have to be careful there is what happens when we subtract a negative. This will become addition. Okay, so let's finish up this formula. -1 minus 5 is -6, and 3 plus 6 is 9. Okay, now I need to simplify this. I want to leave it as a fraction. I do not want to use my calculator and get the decimal. I want to leave it as a fraction. Remember, slope is a ratio. It compares the change in y to the change in x, so I should have it as a fraction. So it's going to be negative. A negative divided by a positive is negative. And then I can divide both of these by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And again, I can check this with my calculator, and then I'm going to go to the math fraction key so that they give it back to me as a fraction. Okay, try some practice.